abilities. So we are gonna get things started here momentarily. I am happy to be here on this Sunday, holding the fort down and getting things rocking and rolling. So thank you guys so much for being here. And I am gonna wait for Jordan to come on board. And then we're gonna go ahead and get into stuff. A lot of cool stuff to review today. We're gonna do 3 different reviews. We're gonna make it lit. We're gonna make this fun. And this is what it's about. This is exactly what it's about in the standpoint of opportunity, the standpoint of love, the standpoint of just being an indie creator. How long have you guys been writing stories? Drop it in the chat. How long has storytelling been an essential part of your life? What inspired you to start writing or creating your story? We want to know it all. We want to know about your journey. We want to know how you got to this point and what has you most excited in 2026. So go ahead, let us know it all as we prepare to get things rolling here, and we're gonna vibe out, have a great time. Bray, what's up, bro? How you doing? Appreciate you being here. Got some stories to review. Shy, you only been writing 2 years? Wow, I didn't know that it's only been 2 years. I thought you've been doing it a little longer. That makes what you're doing even more impressive. Well, going on 3 years because I forgot we're in 2026 now. But that is so awesome. Storytelling been in my life for 30 years. Malik, respect. That's a long time to be grinding. Major respect to you. Let's go, man. It's no better feeling than storytelling. To just be able to take concepts that are playing in your mind and be able to bring them into any type of physical manifestation. I mean, humans have been storytelling since the beginning of time, from cave drawings to everything else. So it's super, super cool to have like this platform and this medium now where we're able to take these books, these concepts, these ideas, and we're able to turn them into super dope creations. So major respect to all of you for taking on the endeavor, taking on the journey. Hey, how you doing? It's really, really, really impressive. So, but that's why we do it, man. It's self-expression, it's love for who we are, and ultimately to get something back to other people, to be inspired. And it's very fun, right? The stuff is very fun. And sometimes I ask for more paper to keep weirdo writing. Well, you to keep on writing. Yeah, you've been writing for a minute. You definitely been writing for a minute. Because I know you just through our conversation, Steph, this is something you've been doing since you were a little girl. All right. We are going to get started with the reviews in about 5 minutes. No, I appreciate that, bro. Thank you for being here. Ben, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you. Gonna be getting started momentarily here. All right. What was the highlight of you guys' weekend? Anybody do anything fun, anything memorable, anything cool? Let me know the highlight of the weekend. Let's go, bruh. My guy Jordan is here. So we are ready to get things going with the reviews. So we could jump into some stories. We are going to have a good time. Yo, Rafa, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here, brother. Man, blessed, brother. Feeling really, really good. Got some reviews to do. We're going to make it fun. And it's time to get things rolling. Let me see if I can just invite. Yep, there we go. So Jordan, I just sent you an invite. How was your vacation, Rafa? Yo, what's good, bro? How are you? Brother, doing well, man. Thank you for joining. Truly, truly appreciate it, man. This is gonna be fun. Do you know if Ellis is off early in the year? Yeah, let me. I'm gonna send him a message tomorrow to kind of get like a follow up on that. My weekend spending with the fam. Hey, ain't no better way to spend the weekend than with the family. So shout out to you, Malik. Hey, how you doing? We got three different screens going on. Really like four. I got ESPN going here. But Jordan, how's your weekend been, brother? I'm ready to dive into this with you. Good, man.
I've been just grinding like usual, so.
Hey, that's all we can do, brother. We know the game. Every day is just we're gonna keep putting in the work.
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and start with Steph. Is this story pronounced Kitsune? Dom, how are you? Steph, if you could, I'm gonna send you an invite so you can come up here so we can go ahead and get things rolling. Get you an invite sent up here. Do-do-do. Why don't I see her name? I don't see her name. Steph, can you request to come up? Because I don't see your name. I'm trying to like see if it'll show up, but it's not showing up. Okay, cool. Dom, I miss you too. We gotta definitely catch up soon. I miss you as well. All right. Steph is here. Steph, how are you?
I am getting over a cold. But
Oh
I'm
man.
alright.
Okay. Well, I'm sending you prayers for a speedy and healthy recovery, and thank you for submitting another story to us. We truly truly appreciate it. So, is the name pronounced Kitsune?
Kitsune, yeah.
Okay, Kitsune. All right. So, what was the inspiration behind this story?
So this one is actually really random. So I was out with a friend a couple weeks ago on a Saturday night, and I get home, and that's actually his nickname for me, Kitsune, because I love foxes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And the next thing I know, I started seeing. I was looking on Pinterest for ideas for B7 for inspiration for character designs.
Yes.
And then I came across an eight-tailed kitsune, and I was like, huh. And I was like, what is the story behind them? And I was like, I'm gonna make my own story and go from there, and that's what happened pretty much.
Okay. Respect. So it kind of just came off a thing of where your friend just had a nickname for you, and then it kind of just sparked some other ideas. And now you said you were also writing this for V7, in the standpoint of influence for that. So how did V7 tie in with this?
Well, no, I was looking for character design inspiration for
Okay.
B7 for other characters for future. And then somehow it went from there to seeing like samurais and kitsune human form.
Okay.
And then that's what intrigued me more and decided to write a story. So it wasn't really like together. It's just I was doing something for V7 and then I just stumbled across something that sparked inspiration for me to write.
Okay, for sure. No, thank you for giving that explanation. So, guys, this is Persephone or Steph. You guys can call her either or, but she is a really, really amazing writer. She submitted two stories to us. So we are reviewing Kitsune now. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in everything. So I really like the lore that we got in the intro. I mean, a lot of the different names for the tales were hard to pronounce. So if I butcher any of those, forgive me for that. But in the standpoint of it kind of reminded me a little bit of Naruto in the standpoint of like these. You had nine originally, and then Naruto, of course, everything split it from 10. So are these half like fox, half human, like people?
Yeah, so technically they're in human form, but they do have their fox ears and their tails out with the fur. Their
Okay.
body themselves, basically, if they didn't have the ears and the tails, they would look human.
Okay. Because one of the things that has stuck out is they don't dream, but they like get echoes. So I wanted to kind of like
That's Yeah, that's the one clan. Each clan has their own specialty. So that clan that you're speaking of is the Valori, the Two Tails.
Okay, and that's what the main because what her name starts with an A. Is it pronounced Aris?
Eris.
Aris. So is she's a part of that clan, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I had a couple questions in the standpoint of, I mean, this universe that you created, are all of these clans are what's like the standing right now in this world? Like, are these clans are they segregated? Are they on good terms? Is like a war brewing? Like, what's I kind of was like
It's
as I was reading, I kind of was trying to get a feel and a vibe of what's going on in the actual universe.
So this actually took me, and I'm still world building and lore building.
Yeah,
It's a lot, and I haven't written anything like this before, but I was excited. So if something doesn't make sense, I don't blame you for not understanding.
no, you're
um,
okay.
so it's kind of political in a sense. So obviously it's not Earth. They're in a whole separate realm itself. Um, the clans are all. I guess you can kind of think of Naruto.
Yeah,
So with each clan, there is like the main family and a branch family, and then there is like a lord of the family. Um, it is technically one. How do you say, like, I don't want to say town, but like one town that the whole clan, like all the clans live in.
okay,
So you'll have, for example, let's say the Valori, they live on the, I don't know, let's say the south side of the realm, and
okay.
then the Highwind, they live on another side of the realm, but they're all together.
Got you. Okay, thanks for that. Thanks for that clarity there, Jordan. If you wanted to have anything that you took away, I want to give you a chance to be able to speak as well, brother.
Yeah, I was gonna say that answered my question because I was trying to figure out like the vibe that you was going to. I definitely got like it wasn't Earth, it was some type of, but it was kind of hard to like get an imagery of like where exactly they were. But
Yeah, the more you
now that
get
I know it's
into
not
it,
like Earth is a different realm, it makes sense now.
right, the more you get into it, the more you see more explanation of what's going on, like where they're at, the actual name of where they are, and everything.
Yeah.
So, in the standpoint of, so another thing that I took away is there seems to be a rift, of course, between her and her parents.
Yes.
As she was saying, like, hey, they're thinking like, oh no, you're seeing things or this or that, you're reading the wrong crap. But okay, can you kind of paint more of a picture of what is going on with Eris, like in the standpoint of this? So is she actually dreaming, even though her clan isn't supposed to dream?
Okay, so yes, she is having. The thing is with them is that her father is basically like a top assassin. He's a lord of the his assassin clan,
Yeah.
and then the mom, she's actually she does the echoes. She's an archivist. So it kind of, you kind of get like the best of both worlds. So Eris ends up getting both abilities. But what she ends up getting isn't her mother's, it's actually dreams itself. So reading the echoes, in a sense, think of it as like if you touch something and you see the memory of an item. That's basically what an echo is. But
Ah,
she's actually having dreams like as if we were dreaming, and that's not supposed to be a thing.
got you. Okay, that kind of. How
Almost
old
like
is
a
she?
catalyst for something bad to come.
Age, yeah. Age wise, I'm not sure as of yet because as I'm writing it, she, I mean, time works differently with them.
Yeah.
So I am still trying to figure out a proper age, but I would say probably late teens to early 20s.
Is the guy that she wants to go see, is his name pronounced Aaron or Aaron?
Yeah,
Okay.
Aaron.
So he's an eight tail. Is that pronounced a Knoxville?
Yes.
Okay, so he's a guardian. And he has to
Yes.
like kind of guard like so it seems like out of all the different tales that I was reading about, he has like kind of the biggest responsibility. Though these eight tails seem to have like the biggest responsibility of keeping order.
Mm-hmm.
So when she goes to, because obviously like I don't know how deep you've made this story, like has he been knowing her all of her life, like or is everybody like within these different tales, like is everybody kind of like? I was kind of trying to figure out like, or is everybody kind of on good terms with somebody? Is there like people beefing? So I kind of was just trying to,
So
yeah,
yeah. It's a lot.
yeah,
It's really a lot, and I'm on like chapter 10 already.
okay,
So when it comes to the eight tails and the seven tails, their fur it's I guess you can call it racist because their fur is black with a white tip and then black with a red tip.
yes, I noticed that about Aaron.
The only other time that you see a different colored fox is I believe the Leorian. They're orange, but
Okay,
they hold a. Let me see. How do I say it? Basically, like I wrote notes on here too, so I
yeah,
would.
no, for
Yeah, I
sure.
was writing. Um, they're perceived as untrustworthy, manipulative. They aren't vilified because they stabilize the positions. So the system tolerates them to preserve order more than truth bearers who threaten it. So
Gotcha.
that's the only reason why their colors are tolerated because everybody else they're white with a different color tip.
Okay, no, that makes sense. Jordan, do you have anything?
I was wondering on where you got the inspiration for the names though for each of these.
I try to be different.
Very majestic, like.
I try to be so when I write, I picture things so clearly in my head. For example, with the Elisar, they're the six tails, and I picture them majestic, and they're healers. So when I picture them, I kind of see like this sun or like this brightness shining on them.
Okay,
So I used Ellis. I my process is like getting a few different words and then trying to like piece it together, and that's how I got all of these names.
no, I mess with that.
So when I
Yeah,
got Elisar, I was like, oh, that actually sounds pretty out there. It's
I
pretty
mess with
ancient.
that.
So yeah, that's what I did with everything.
No, I mess with that big time. Thread, what's up? I think my dude Vars jumped in here too. Vars, if you still here, what's up, man? Appreciate you guys. I got on Instagram we got the Dimensional Collision in here. What's up, brother? It's my young gun riding in this joint. So, Steph, in the standpoint of just like a little bit of constructive criticism I had, I think because of how much this is to digest, it was very overwhelming from the introduction,
Yeah.
trying to digest all of that. I think that the way you established it is good, though. It's a solid foundation. I'm just putting myself in a standpoint of like me being a new reader and I'm checking this out for the first time. I'm not going to be remembering these names. I'm not going to
Yeah, of
remember which
course.
like party is like doing what. So I think if you kind of can figure out a way to do a slower rollout of each, like maybe there's situations to where Eris is like maybe she's kind of traveling and I don't know if each clan like has its own like separate village or section, but it kind of could be one of those things to where we get to see her through it being shown, and then she kind of like tells us a little bit as we get to just go through the place of
Gotcha.
wherever it is. So that way it just becomes a lot easier for us as readers to be able to digest this universe.
Right. Throughout the story, you do see, because not everyone is mentioned.
Okay.
I did it that way just so that when somebody is mentioned, they're like, okay, who's that? Like I said, this was very quickly done. I just
Yeah.
wrote it out. So I wanted me as a remember for myself. I have it in my notebook and I have it there, who's who. So that's why I wanted the reader to be like, okay, this is that. This is the backstory of how and why they came to be
Yes.
these clans. And then as you read the other chapters, she does come face to face with a couple other clans. Like in one scene, she's walking through the town and she sees the who is it?
I think even
The
for
Threnkai, I believe. I think it's the Threnkai.
I think even for yours perspective, like because you're already juggling another story with V7 and everything.
Oh yeah, no, I
I
haven't
think
touched this one at all. I started it. I got to where I got, and I'm like, I need to calm down and focus back on Fisa.
Yeah. Because like where I was going with that is, I think when people are building very expansive universes, like, and Jordan probably could touch on this better than I can because he writes like a lot of stories. But I think like one of the biggest things that is going to be important with this, because you've made so many like you've made a lot of complex names in the standpoint of how you set these tales up, and then it's going to be very important. I would even break these down into like different sections, and that could be even a better way for you to introduce the audience as well. It doesn't even have to necessarily even be in chronological order. It's just like, hey, this is the beginning, and maybe we start with like her lineage. So Arya's lineage, of course, with the two tails, and maybe then we go to like the five, where it's like she's involved with them, and then there's something going on with the seven, and it's like now this is something where we kind of got like a bit of a structure put together of how this universe is being formed to where it doesn't overwhelm you either. So this is breaking down in sections to where it's like, hey, I'm gonna focus just on this part for these three. So it's like I'm focusing on 2, 5, and 7. It doesn't have to, like I said, it doesn't have to be like in that order. But I think even for the standpoint of you and your workflow, that's gonna be easier on your like mental health and like in your overall energy with this.
Yeah, when I started writing this, I was like, I'm gonna just keep riding the wave until I stop because it was just like so many different ideas, and then I'm like, all right, it took me like 2 to 3 days to actually try the story build before I
Yeah.
actually started writing everything out, and then before I even started the so-called prologue where it introduces everybody, I didn't have that at first, but I was like, let me just put that there for my mind's sake
For sure.
and go from there.
Thread, this is what we do every Sunday. We review first chapters for indie creators. They send us first chapters of their stories, and then we go ahead and review them. Give a couple tips of things that we just pointed out, and yeah, just give indie creators a platform to be able to speak, share their work with our community, and yeah, this is what we do every Sunday. Steph, the other Jordan, I don't know if I don't want to interrupt you if you had anything you wanted to say.
No, I'll just double down on how you said at the beginning. It was still like a lot to juggle through and all that. And especially since like the narrative, the environment, it wasn't very descriptive. So yeah, it was just spread that out like you said. But I will say the second half though, like with their conversation with them and the boy, it definitely was intriguing. It definitely like grounded
Yes.
what you had so far. And
Yeah, so it starts off pretty slow, but it starts picking up in chapter 2 with more explanation of everything and more action.
Because even Aaron has said something that or no, this was something that I think Eris has said. Too much healing encourages weakness. I think that's something she got from her dad or something like that. Or so it's like there's this. This seems to be a very like this seems to be a very dark and serious environment. Like that's kind of
It's very, very structured
yeah.
based. So the thing with her parents is that Eris is the only heir of her parents. So her father wants her to follow his line, which is the assassin's line.
Yeah.
So anything that has to do with dreams or echoes, he don't want to hear it, even though she's like, but mom is, that's, and she's like, no, you're my heir, you're following my line. I don't want to hear any of that nonsense.
Yeah.
So he's very dismissive when it comes to that.
Because the last thing is they pointed out to their eyes, like how both of their eyes necessarily maybe didn't reflect the clan that they were in. So I paid really close attention to that.
That's a big part.
In the standpoint. Oh, so it's like, okay, are neither one of them really like direct descendants of the lineage that they're in? So that's something that I also paid attention to, and you don't have to answer that like right now if you haven't figured that part out. But
I did.
Okay, so that part was figured out.
Yeah.
So is that true? Like neither one of them are direct descendants from it.
So this is gonna be a spoiler, but not really. So Ares, she was born all white. So whenever a newborn, they have their tails, they're white, but you do see like a pale tip. She was completely white.
Okay.
And the original nine-tailed fox that they originated from was all white with blue eyes. So when she was born with the blue eyes and all white, they kind of thought like she was a reincarnated of the original Fox. And then with Aaron, he has the, like the silver going into black eyes. That plays a part into somebody you find out about later.
Okay, so yeah, because he dropped that lore, and in the standpoint of she goes to him obviously because he gives her the real.
Yeah.
He's not sugarcoating stuff. He's telling her like things how it is, and it seems like it's even dangerous for him to see her because of
Yeah,
all
they're
the
not
responsibility.
supposed to be
Yeah,
meeting
so
at all.
so it seems like it's even dangerous for him to even be involved with her. So that already put in my mind in the standpoint of his type of responsibilities. Maybe he's not supposed to be involved with the other tales. I mean, I guess that's more that we'll learn as the story continues. But
Hmm.
I thought that I'm really curious to just see more about their relationship, like how they even met each other, how they've developed this bond. So I thought, like as Jordan was alluding to, that was very insightful in the standpoint of a conversation. That's definitely something that should be kept. And then I think just you figuring out that beginning part of how you want to roll out exactly how the world works, that's
Right.
probably going to be just the most important thing as you continue to build this out.
Got it.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I had for Kasumi. Jordan, did you have anything else? Or Ketsune?
No, that's about it. Though. I did enjoy it. I was kind of mad when it cut off. Though, at the end.
Yeah, she gave us that crazy cliffhanger. It's like, oh man, these guys are
Yeah.
like descendants of
Always.
like,
Oh my.
yeah. You always do that though, because you did that with V7 too. It's like you give us these cliffhangers, and now these people are like descendants of like nine tail royalty, and now we gotta find out like how in the world all that's about to happen.
Oh, really quick. Did you get to read chapter 3 of V7?
I have not got to read it yet.
Okay.
You sent that to me?
I believe I did.
I didn't know you sent that to me.
I believe I did. Because that's when you want to talk about dark. Whew. That's when start getting dark.
Okay, no, I'm definitely gonna have to check it out there because I didn't even know I had chapter 3. So I definitely will do that and give you my feedback on that. But Steph, as always, thank you for being a creator. Thank you for having the courage to go after this. You're really, really talented, and I am
Thank
so
you.
excited to continue to see V7, what you do here with Kasune, and everything else that you go about creating. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Go follow Steph Persephone. She got some amazing stories. She's a client with us here at One Nation Manga. And V7 is going to be a freaking banger. So go tap in with her, show her some love.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All righty, all right, all right. Yo, what's good? We got all three of these joints streaming. ESPN in this joint. All right, so I am going I don't think Aiden is here. I wish he was because I had a lot of notes about his story.
Yeah, this is pretty fun.
Yeah. Like this thing was like this thing was crazy. It's like it was like a detective thing that turned into like this like like like
Yeah.
like bro like basically like he basically like had an Obito revival. I was like, oh like man, it's a lot of crap going on here. But I don't know if Aiden is here, so but I do have my dude Jordan, I forgot to send you this, but my dude, Dimension Collision, he is here on IG. He's not on TikTok. Are you able to come over, bro, on TikTok? Because I definitely want you to be able to talk, introduce yourself to the audience. It's my same username, bro. Just One Nation Manga. If you're able to make it over, and then I could like just bring you up and you can speak. Or am I able to do that here on this one? I don't know if I am. Let me see. It might be easier to do it over here. But if not, then I will just keep talking here and be able to go over everything with you. So, Dimension Collision is a 16-year-old writer, like, bro, grinding. Really respect the hustle, like going after this. First, I want to commend you on that, dog, because to be able to have this type of vision to be able to have this type of vision and this type of drive at your age, it's very, very commendable. And then to be able to not only like have that, but to build out a story, I just want to give my flowers to you. So, first things that I did. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 We'll just wait. We'll just wait to see if you could come over. But if not, I'll just come back to that and get into it. So, thread. Yes. So what happens is creators send us their stories throughout the week, and then we put it on our docket to be able to review. So we try to get through 3 stories every Sunday. So we've been getting a lot of submissions, which has been really good. And then we bring everybody up here to give them their time to be able to tell us in the audience about what they're doing. We reviewed the first chapter, and we kind of just like walk through this together. So I don't know if Aiden is here, Jordan, but I want to go ahead and just kind of like go into the story with you if you're ready to do that.
Yeah.
All right, cool, cool. All right, so what Aiden sent us was like a graphic novel. I'm gonna see if I can show you guys some of the work here on the screen. If he did this himself, it's really impressive
Yeah.
in the standpoint of the work. I thoroughly enjoyed the story. One of the um, one of the biggest things that was a huge takeaway for me with this. Turn to my notes. Did we even get a name for the MC?
I don't think so. No.
So that was like something where I'm like, okay, I don't know if we got a name for the MC, but as soon as I saw this dude, I knew this was a time period similar to what he did. I was like, bro, this has to be like some 1940s, 1950s
Yeah.
stuff. Like this is like some like Wild Wild West, like cowboy like endeavor or something like that. But it turned into be something like crazy because I thought the story was gonna go in one way and then it went a different way. Because I mean we can't say it on live, but you Jordan, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, oh shoot, like this is about to get like, really, really deep in the standpoint of
Like there.
what he's after and he's tracking down. So basically like I said, I don't want to get my live restricted, but he's trying to we first thought on his detective case, what he was trying to solve was something in the standpoint of, like kids getting like you know where I'm going with it. So I thought it was like one of those stories at first. So I'm like, oh shoot, okay, this is about to get deep. So we're trying to crack this code to be able to track this down and like recover these kids. But it turned into something else where it seemed like it was a revenge quest, and this is where it kind of got confusing. Um, I think that in the standpoint, yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like they just restrict you for all type of stuff. So I'm not trying to get the live restricted. So I'm kind of speaking in code, but I think you guys know where I'm going of what I'm talking about here. But then the story took a different type of turn where it seems like this guy that had a vendetta against him, like just randomly appeared, and now they're in like this big like conflict. Now I will admit the villain looked really cool. Like I was like, this dude kind of he kind of reminded me of like All for One a little bit. Like I'm gonna show you all him real
Yeah.
quick. But yeah, like that dude with that hat. Like I'm like, bro, this dude don't got no face. But, so like it turned into this villain type person pulling up where he has like this vendetta against him where it kind of was confusing in the standpoint of why exactly, but he informs the MC that hey, I'm the one that like took out your family. And Jordan, I don't know about you, but I felt the dialogue was overwhelming.
A little bit. Yeah. I
Like
saw
I
the pictures on some of them. Yeah.
yeah, like I felt there were certain parts like man, I wish Aiden was here so I could kind of go over like what I meant, but I felt the show not tell method would have been good for so many different things here. Where it's like he gave us enough visuals. It's like we kind of got an overdub. We got not only visuals, but we got so much dialogue where it was kind of hard to be able to follow consistently of what actually was going on.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'll give you guys a quick example. So it was like this page, for instance. Like we had all that. We had the artwork was great. Like we have all this writing on the hand though, and then we got to follow this stuff, and it just became a lot for me to be able to like continue to keep up with. So that was just like one of my critiques is I felt there was I felt there could have been maybe an easier way for him to kind of get his point across. I also thought that there were a lot of repetitive dialogue lines within the battle that also were not necessary.
And he
That
could have
was.
just showed it and not told.
You said what, brother?
And he could have just like showed and not told.
Exactly, man. I feel like that would have been. This is one of those things to where if you're doing a lot of action in a standpoint of manga or comics or whatever, I think one of the things that traps people, because this is something that happened to me early on when I was writing, you're like in your mind thinking you're on a screen in like animation. And within these battles that we're seeing within our favorite anime or, comic series or whatever it is, there is a lot of talk breaking up everything because if it wasn't, animation goes by so fast. So they have to make all this dialogue in order to keep things like flowing in the standpoint of the episode. Otherwise, the fight will be over in one episode. So of course, like they break it up, give us like filler flashback stories or all this other stuff. But in the standpoint of what you can do with the pages, I feel there you can have that same type of impact without over flooding us with dialogue. Especially when we're saying like, let me go to another page where it's like the same thing is being repeated. Now when he went to that how he was in a coma for 4 years after like he got in that battle. I thought that was crazy too. I kind of wanted. You said what?
I was saying, yeah, that was crazy when they revealed that.
Yeah, he was in that coma for 4 years, and then let me go to this page right here. Like here's another example where it's like I really want to just be able to enjoy the fight, but it's kind of hard to because there's so much dialogue going on, and I just think like in between, when you're really in the nitty gritty of a battle, you're probably not going to be talking as much. Whereas like the dialogue is usually, I mean, obviously like if you've seen Naruto or any other major anime or whatever, the dialogue is usually happening after a big clash has happened and then they kind of get separated at a distance. That's usually when dialogue is transpiring. But when they're actually in the midst of combat, there's not a lot of dialogue happening. Joe, I don't know if you had anything on that.
Yeah, like this one, it feels like a lot clustered. A lot of the pages are clustered.
Yeah. And it's again like it was a good read in the standpoint of a good of an opening chapter, and I felt that the transition of him in that coma for 4 years, I feel like that's another thing that he maybe could have spread out over time because in his first chapter it looked like the main character is like gone now. I mean, I'm not gonna say the word, but didn't you get that conclusion from like how this ended?
Yeah, so I thought it was maybe it was a one shot. This is just a chapter one.
Yeah, no, this is just a chapter one, bro.
Oh,
That's why I was saying like I think I left feeling more confused than anything.
yeah, yeah.
Because now this panel right here was really cool. Like when he was kind of like I thought he was going through like a transformation here, but it's like that wasn't what was happening. He was like about to be at his end. But I thought he was kind of going through a transformation there.
It just looked like he did bulk up a little bit right there.
But it's like even with this I feel like you see like that dialogue at the top. I didn't feel it was necessary. Like I felt it'd have been just cool if we just would have saw this like this is enough kind of showing and tell. This is enough showing us what's going on. We see literally just through the illustration what's happening.
Yeah. I was also a little confused about the energy that he was using. Like sometimes they'll show, sometimes they wouldn't.
Yeah, because didn't
You
he?
know,
Because I thought like I'm like bro turned into kind of like a Obito. They gave him like a different arm, like
yeah,
and then he
yeah.
man when he broke out the doctor's like trap house or like the trap place the doctor had him in. He had to take out like so many people. I'm like, oh man, bro, I'm like a Obito rampage. So I was like, okay, I didn't know where it was going from that, but it also wasn't really an explanation of how he located the antagonist either. Like we kind of he kind of just like got out of that joint, and then he kind of just like went there. Where I feel that if we would have got more of a backstory on why those two were how they were related, I think that would have helped the story flow more. Like why they were connected, as in the villain's relationship to the MC, because we kind of just that MC just I mean that villain just appeared out of nowhere, like literally. Like we like there was no explanation. It's like I'm thinking we're about to be on this case to try to find these children, and now we're like dealing with this dude. And then it was like that stuff was never brought up again though, like about what he was originally doing. It was never brought up again.
In the end, he made it seem like was he also? That means he was like the villain and the fucking MC throughout the whole story.
Yeah, like that's so I kind of was. Yeah, I think more than anything I left confused, but yeah, Steph, no, the artwork is really good. I appreciated his artwork a lot.
It gave me like old school newspaper comic vibes.
For sure.
Mature audience, of course.
Like this was really cool because it takes place in the 1930s. So prohibition is just ending. So like it goes from 1932 to 1936 because he's in a coma for 4 years after he first gets into the battle with the antagonist, and then he's out for 4 years. Honestly, I don't know how he even survived that. It kind of was like a Obito thing where he probably shouldn't have survived, but yeah. So 4 years goes by. He wakes up. He's going after the antagonist again, and it doesn't end well for the MC. But we do not know the MC's name. We do not know the antagonist's name. And but artwork, the execution of the panels, A1. Dialogue, we probably could reduce like 50% of it. Give us a little bit more of an explanation on the relationship between those two, and I think we got a solid chapter one that he could build on.
I agree on that. It was definitely fun though. It was definitely fun to just look at it and watch it.
Oh yeah,
Without the dialogue, but
no, yeah, it was still like I think I really appreciate now we're starting to get submissions also with people that have completed comics or mangas. So it's cool like being able to just lively like see the panels and pages along with seeing everything else. So we love all type of stories where it rather you read it in like a novel, you actually have a manga or a comic book already out. However it is you want to submit it, we love to be able to read it. So Thread, all you got to do is just DM me, bro, after the live, so I can get you my. I don't even know if I'm able to say that on here, so I'm not gonna say it. But I will get you the information on how to submit the story, and we will put you on our calendar to be able to review. So we are going to. I think my guy is here. Dimensional, are you able to request yourself or send a request to join? Because I am not. I don't know why you're not showing up on my thing. So you just got to request to join the live, bro, and then I will be able to let you up. And we vibing out here though, man. I appreciate y'all. We having a good time. I love doing this, man. Got Jordan up here with me. Dom is hopefully gonna be back sometime in the near future. And until then though, Jordan is here rocking it out with us. Jordan, you've been doing great for your first time on the reviewed scene, so appreciate you being here, brother.
appreciate the opportunity. Like this is fun.
Echo, how are you? We're trying to get dimensional collision up here. I don't know why you're not showing up for me to be able to request. Oh man, and I really had some good stuff on your story. So I really wanted to jump into this. Jordan, I forgot to send you this one. I apologize. But I have somebody that wants to work with you on Wednesday. So I will, yeah. So I will let them. I'll let them know your availability. His name is Charles. Really cool guy. He wants to do a one shot comic type style, and he said he wants to get some work in on Wednesday.
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay, he said it won't let him on TikTok. Okay, no worries, bro. So as long as you can hear me, I'll just like kind of like go in. So he basically has put together a universe revolving like a lot of gods. There's a lot of like different rules and hierarchy between these gods, and everything that he has put together in his chapter one of TDC Valor City. So one of the biggest things that I would say, bro, is the introduction. I kind of was shorting this a lot because you're kind of in a situation where Steph was with her story. You have a lot of things going on. And when people are making complex universes, one of the biggest things that I feel could be a detriment is over info dumping. So now it's a situation where it's like it's like, all right, well, we created this really cool universe and we want to share, but sometimes like we can share like too much to where it can become like overwhelming for the reader. Doesn't mean that you're doing anything bad. It's just more so of we always gotta try to put ourselves in the reader's shoes, where it's like if this is their first time checking out something and they don't know anything about our work, like what's the easiest way we can introduce them to digest? So I think for what you did here, we have like an introduction of a lot of gods, even in the standpoint of like how I would even work on the structuring of how you even form the universe in the standpoint of connecting the dots of okay, this happened first and now it led to point B. Now point B led to point C. So I would really lock in on connecting the dots. Now I did like the brother and sister dynamic. Oh, you requested to join via Insta? Okay, I don't even know. Like, honestly, don't even know how to do that here. If I'm being honest. But what was I gonna say? I would really lock in on like just connecting the dots in the standpoint of your universe. So we then went into the chapter. The brother sister relationship between Nova and Dark, I do like. So I obviously from Dark in his personality and persona, we get he is a protector. Like protecting his sister is very important to him. So I did like how you incorporated a good brother sister dynamic. I don't know how old Nova is. How old is she? Because from the vibe of how like her mannerisms was and how she was acting, I'm thinking this is a young girl, maybe like between 10 to 12 years old. Man, let me see if I can get you up here, dog. Yo, 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 what's up? Appreciate you being here. Hey, but even though, like I said, bro, for you to put something like this together, just being as young as you are, I already got a lot of respect for you for that. Because you put a story together that has a lot of potential. And as you get older, bro, and you just get more confident in your writing style, you go start the game is gonna start slowing down, man. So you're literally like a rookie, bro. That is just getting their feet wet. But you're not afraid to take on the challenge of writing a story. Okay, Dark is 13 when the story starts. Okay, he's a lot younger than what I thought he was. I'm thinking this dude is like 17, 18. Okay, so his sister, what is she like? 8, 9? She might be even younger than what I thought. But I definitely feel that okay, he's 13 because you made him when you were 13. Okay, I like that. See, what he did there was he used something out of his real life to build it to his character. And that's another thing that I feel is important for creators to do. I feel a lot of times people talk about writer's blocks or things like that, but and Jordan, I don't know if you feel the same, but I feel that if people would just take more influence out of their everyday life, they would be like, oh man, there's actually a lot more stuff for me to talk about.
Yeah, and you have an infinite amount of inspiration.
Okay, she's like 10 years old. So how much of this story would you say you have fully fleshed out? Because that's another thing that's going to be important. Sometimes where I feel writers get into like a hole in the standpoint or plot convenience or like like now you feel like your plot is all murky and messed up is because we're not like strategically planning out and structuring point A to point B. We're jumping from point A to like point W. But we're not like going, you gotta literally look at your story building as if you're climbing steps. So let's say that this stairwell has 100 steps. So this could be chapter one. We have to strategically go from step one to two to three all the way to 100. And if it's not going to be organized from that standpoint, you're going to get lost very quickly. Yeah. No, Steph, for sure. No, definitely do that. Because I role played before I got to the writing chapters. That's another good thing to do. Because Jordan, do you do that? Do you actually voice out what your characters are saying when you're writing the dialogue?
In my head, I do, not out loud.
Okay, I do it both.
Yeah.
Cause I feel that, yeah, Thread do it too. I feel that's is really getting the character. Like even like the female characters, like I still gotta voice out. Like I'm not gonna make a higher pitched voice necessarily, but it's still just like what they're saying. Like, I want to feel the weight and the meaning of that. Where it's like, no, like I really need to feel this and get into character and see how it sounds like coming out of my own mouth in the standpoint of like, okay, is this something really authentic to my character?
Right.
I think that's very important. So you're doing a lot of good things, man, in the standpoint of you already role playing your characters. Like I said, I think the biggest thing, bro, that you're gonna have to do is the structure, the structuring of everything. Another thing that I appreciate about this, your dialogue was easy to follow. So that's another impressive thing for you being as young as you are. You didn't have an issue. I didn't have an issue like necessarily being able to follow your dialogue. Now, can you explain the relationship between Noya to Nova and to Dark? Is she like their aunt? Is she like a big cousin? Because I may have missed that part. Like I know the uncle, but I didn't understand the relationship between Noya, Nova, and Dark. And then at the end, yes, Varus, I was able to find the chapter. I found it a little too late, so I'm gonna put it on next week's docket to review. So Jordan, I'm gonna send that over to you for Varus story, so we can have that on our docket for next week. Okay, so she's the oldest sister. How old is she? Because she's very cold-hearted. She's very cold-hearted. Another thing is how you did the flashback. I felt that could have waited. We could have got more context just on their relationship before you jumped into that. I feel that's a moment in time to where that's going to be important later on because you got to remember this is somebody's first time checking out your work. And if we already have a complicated introduction, we then get to see the characters. We're immediately jumping into flashbacks. That's a lot going on at one time. And then you have an invasion taking place at the end of the chapter. So you got four major events happening all in one chapter. That's a lot of things going on. So I would say, in the standpoint of, okay, what's most essential for chapter one? What would you say would be your biggest goal that you want to accomplish with chapter one? Shoot, this stuff I should have been asking myself when I first started writing.
The process.
Yeah, yeah, no, though, like, cause after, like, once you just start seeing this stuff so many times, it's like, man. But I get it though. Like, when I was when I was his age, man. Like, but I said, bro, I wasn't even writing stories when I was your age. Like, I was just about to start writing music when I turned 17, but I wasn't writing like a comic story, a manga story. So again, I think like it's super dope that you're already pursuing it. So all I'm trying to do, dog, is I'm just trying to give you different things to think about for the execution. So let's say, you're about to turn 17. Let's say that what if we can curve like 2 years of a learning curve in like 1 year? That's like what I'm trying to do. Is trying to like expedite the process of the maturation with also like allowing you to make your growing pains and stuff. Because that stuff just gonna happen naturally regardless, bro. So, okay. What I would say is lock in on one goal for chapter one, bro. Because you got four things happening at one time. So I think if I were you, this is what I would do. I would really focus on establishing the characters as a strong foundational point. Whereas, like, I want my chapter one to be so strong that at least one of my characters is now going to be able to retain an audience to come back. Because you got to do that, man. Because people are people are like with indie creators, it's gonna be the characters, bro, that ultimately is gonna keep them to come back. Because they could read Naruto, they could read Bleach, they could read whatever. So we have to have a character that is interesting enough for them to be able to come back. So I would really lock in. If Dark is your main character, bro, I would really lock in on Dark's personality or a core character trait and aspect about him, a core conviction and reason why, for me to come back and read chapter two. Like you got to think about it from that standpoint. Not that you're competing with Bleach, Naruto, or none of that, but you have to think about what made those stories elite. We resonate with Naruto, ostracized by the village, Fox implanted in him, everybody hated on him. We want him to win. Luffy, his determination to be king of the pirates in the relationship with Shanks, what he was looking to do, looking to prove himself. But he also had like the stupidity that enamored us with his personality. So it's again, what is your MC gonna be doing? Like my MC, for instance, the love of his life got kidnapped on his birthday, and he's blaming himself. So he's dedicating the rest of his life to now become a soldier to try to go find her when he doesn't have any leads. So that's like something to where you see what his call to action is and his reason why. You gotta like your MC has to have it, man. That's what's gonna make you different.
Gotta make us want to come back.
Exactly. Like your MC and the support characters, they gotta have things that, because again, like don't get me wrong, like it's dope having a cool power system or stuff like all that stuff is cool, but at the end of the day, it's the characters why people are tuning into stuff. Like that's at the end of the day the root of it. Like don't get me wrong, as much as I love the Sharingan or I love like Obito's teleportation and the Kamui, it was their stories that drew me in and kept me there.